Welcome my dear children of class 11. Today in this video I am going to explain about angiosperms, the most advanced group of Plantae, kingdom Plantae. In Bryophyta, Pteridophyta and algae, first group is algae, then Bryophyta, then Pteridophyta, then gymnosperms, and the last group is angiosperms. So in angiosperm the plant body is most complex and advanced. Plant body is differentiated. Of course, differentiated plant body you have seen in pteridophytes, though it's very primitive structure. Root, stem and leaves are there, and stem is underground rhizome you have seen. Then in gymnosperms the well differentiated body is there, stem, roots and leaves. And in angiosperms plant body is well differentiated into roots, stem and leaves. So most advanced division of the flowering plants. So what's the difference between gymnosperms and angiosperms? Angiosperms are flowering plants, gymnosperms are non-flowering, but both are seed producing. So angiosperms are highly evolved and adapted to terrestrial habitats. Some aquatic forms are also there, but majority are terrestrial plants. And the smallest angiosperm plant is Wolffia. There is only 1 millimeter. It's only 1 millimeter in size. Then eucalyptus grows to over 100 meters. So very short plants are there, medium plants are there, and very long, the trees are there which are having large trunks. So as we have learned, the plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Then flowers are there, reproductive structures are the flowers, and in the flowers produce fruits and then seed. So they are seed bearing, fruit bearing. Okay. And the seeds are inside the fruit. That's why they are called angiosperms, covered seeds. Then well developed vascular tissues. We have learned that from pteridophyte onwards vascular tissues are there, but pteridophytes it's not well developed. And gymnosperms also there are tracheids in the xylem and sieve tubes in the phloem, and here all the 4 kinds of cells are in the vascular tissue. Xylem and phloem are well differentiated, well developed. Xylem shows vessels or tracheae, while phloem has sieve tubes and companion cell. Okay, xylem is the water conducting tissue, phloem is the food transporting tissue. Then vessels or tracheae are well developed, and sieve tubes and companion cells are there. Then besides this there is xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma, then tracheids are there. All the 4 kinds of xylem tissue are there, and all the 4 kinds of cells in the phloem tissue, like sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. So well differentiated, well developed vascular tissues are there. This is another advantage. Then comes to, if you see the plant body, this is a typical angiosperm plant body. So first of all is the root system. Okay, root system is underground and its function is to absorb water and anchor the plant to the soil. And there is primary root. The well developed roots come from the radicle. So primary root come from the radicle, then the branches, secondary root, tertiary roots, branches develop in that. So the whole thing is called a root system. Okay, more explanation of it we will learn in this morphology of plants in the coming chapters. So just now you learned that root system is well developed and it is under the soil. And then the whole rest of the whole part together is known as the aerial part, that is shoot system. So well developed shoot system, and shoot system comprises a stem, then branches are there, leaves are there, flowers are there, buds are there. So all these together called the shoot system, and all these together. So the angiosperm plant body is divided into root system and shoot system. Okay, root system has primary and secondary root. Then shoot system has stem, leaves, fruit, flowers, fruits, everything is there. So this is a typical angiosperm plant body, and you can see that in between the axil, the leaf makes an angle with the stem. So this is like an angle. So this angle is called axil, and in the axil either the flowers develop or the branches develop. So axillary buds are there. Then the part from where, the region from where the leaves arise is called the node. You can see this is the node, and the leaves arise from the node, and the region between two nodes is called the internode. So internode is the region between two nodes. So this is also a node, this is also a node. So in between there is internode. This is also internode. So leaf axil we have learned, the angle that the leaf makes with the stem. Leaf makes with the stem, that is axil, and in the axil there is axillary bud which may develop into branches or which may develop directly into flowers. So see, the branches are developing. So these are the morphology of an angiosperm plant. Now we come to alternation of generation. Alternation of generation means, see, heteromorphic alternation of generation. So in the last class we have learnt about pteridophytes and gymnosperm. Alternation of generation is there. Gymnosperms also we have seen that heteromorphic, that is this gametophyte and sporophytic generation alternate. Now in angiosperm the sporophytic generation is dominant and the gametophyte dependent on the sporophyte. So this whole plant just now we have learned, this is the sporophyte, diploid, 2n. In each cell there is 2n number of chromosomes. Okay, pairs of chromosome, 2n chromosomes are there. So diploid sporophyte is this is sporophytic diploid plant body. Okay, and then here that the flowers are the reproductive structures. So female reproductive structure is the pistil or gynecium we have learnt. In class 10 also we learned this, and the male reproductive structure is the anther. So the pistil consists of a basal swollen portion which is the ovary, and in between there is a tubular structure called style, and then stigma. Tip of it is called a stigma, and then male reproductive part is called a stamen, which consists of a filament, and the tip is called anther, in which the pollen grains are formed, and pollen grains or male gametophyte is formed, and here there is a connective. So in between the anther and filaments are connected, and this connecting region is called a connective. So male reproductive structure and female reproductive structure is there. So in the anther, here that in the flower that in the pistil that female gametophyte is formed, and in the anther that male gametophyte is formed. So the whole cell now is the 2n and 2n, that is diploid cells are there. Now the gametophytic generation we will learn. In the anther, what is there? Microsporangium. And in the microsporangium, the cells, the microsporangium, microspore mother cells are there, which undergoes meiosis. You can write here meiosis to form haploid microspores. In gymnosperms also we have seen in the microsporangium the microspores are formed by meiosis. So haploid microspores are Microspore is the male gametophyte, or we call it pollen grains, which will develop into what is called a pollen grain. This is a pollen grain developed from each one of this. All the four meiotic products are functional and they become the pollen grain. Okay, and the pollen grains are haploid, then dependent on sporophyte and recessive. Then gametophyte is N. Okay, half the number of chromosomes only. So this is the gametophytic generation. They are growing on the sporophyte. Okay, then so this is male gametophyte, which will in which male gametes will be formed. Now let's see the female gametophyte. So in the ovary there is ovule, and in the ovule, that is microsporangium. Okay, details of these structures we will learn in another chapter. So just now microsporangium is there, which is the ovule. Ovule is called a microsporangium, in which the megasporangium. Okay, megasporangium. So dimorphic. Okay, so this is megasporangium, males it is microsporangium. So in the megasporangium, that is megaspore mother cell again, which is megaspore mother cell is diploid, isn't it? And that will in which the female gametophyte, that is embryo sac, is formed. Okay, how is it developed? We will learn bit later. So this is the embryo sac or female gametophyte, in which the egg is there, and these are the synergids and antipodals and the central nuclei. Okay, their function and all we will learn in detail. So here the egg is there. Now after pollination, the male gamete, the pollen tube will develop, which will release pollen through the micropyle opening. The male gametes enter in there and it will fuse with the egg to form the zygote, and here the second two male nuclei are there. One will fuse with the polar nuclei to form the primary endosperm nucleus. So this is the zygote. Zygote develops into embryo. So gametophytic phase is over here. Okay, till fertilization only gametophytic phase. So gametophyte is fully dependent on the sporophyte. So here the embryo zygote is diploid phase. Sporophytic generation starts from here. So zygote 2N, because it is formed by N plus N, that is male and female gametes used to form the zygote, and zygote develop into embryo, and embryo develops into sporophyte. So sporophyte is diploid, which is autotrophic and which is dominant, whereas gametophyte is haploid, dependent on sporophyte, and so it is recessive. Okay, so this is the sporophytic and gametophytic generation, and alternation of generation we have learnt. So male and heteromorphic alternation of generation. Then comes a little more details about. See, this is the flower in the male flower, for example, male. So microsporangium or a pollen sac. How is it developed? This is 2N. Okay, the microsporangium is 2N, and 2N divided by meiosis, and meiosis 4 microspores are formed, which will develop into the pollen grain or male gamete. Each of the 4 will develop into male gametophyte. Okay, and this is divided into generative cell, which gives rise to male gametes, and then there is a vegetative cell. Okay, and then in the females again, the pistil is the female reproductive structure. So the ovary, inside that ovule, then ovule is megasporangium. So in which the cell is called a megasporocyte. 2N. Then it has an integument. Integument is the covering nucellus, and inside the nucellus that the megasporocyte is there, and surviving megaspore. After meiosis there are 4 cells formed. So here there is a difference between male and female. Male, all the 4 meiotic products are functional. Here only one megaspore is functional. The rest of the 3 will disintegrate. So the surviving will develop megaspore is functional. One megaspore is also only functional. and which will develop into embryo sac. And in the embryo sac there are 3 antipodal cells, there are 2 polar nuclei, and then 1 egg is there, synergid cyst. This is the embryo sac structure. In class 10 also we have learned. Again in detail all this we will learn in the coming chapters. So then after fertilization, embryos form, and so from the zygote embryo is formed, sporophytic generation starts. So another important feature of angiosperm is fertilization, double fertilization. As I told you, there are 2 male nuclei. There are 2 male nuclei or 2 male gametes are there. So what happened? 2 male gametes enter into the embryo sac. One of them fuse with the egg to form the zygote, and the other one will fuse with the central cell or central cell nuclei, that is polar nuclei. So triple fusion. So this is syngamy. This fertilization, that is egg and sperm or egg and one of the male nucleus fuse, which is called a syngamy. And second male nucleus fuses with the polar nuclei. So 3 haploid nuclei are fusing there. So this fusion of the 3 haploid nuclei is called a triple fusion. Triple fusion and syngamy together known as double fertilization. So in angiosperm it is double fertilization. Gymnosperms it is only one fertilization. It's not called a double fertilization. But this is the difference between gymnosperms and angiosperms. This is double fertilization. Okay. So as a result of triple fusion, what will develop? Primary endosperm nucleus, which will develop into endosperm. And since 3 nuclei fuse, it is called a 3N, triploid. So endosperm in angiosperm is triploid. Endosperm in angiosperm is triploid. Okay. Endosperm in angiosperm is called a triploid because 3 haploid nuclei are fusing. And this endosperm, it has an important function to develop. Embryo development requires food, and the food is, endosperm is a nutritive tissue. Food is provided by endosperm. This is a nutritive tissue. So embryo, endosperm and the seed pod. So the seed will, the result of double fertilization is seed. One is embryo develops into seed and 2N. Now onwards it is 2N and endosperm is 3N, which gives the food. So this is the diploid and haploid generation and details about the angiosperms we have learnt. Okay. So this is all in this video. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe this video. Thank you.